In what is being viewed as a historic event for the indigenous community, the first release of finances from the Amerindian Development Fund of the Low Carbon Development Strategy were formally handed over to the first beneficiaries drawn from Region 1 on May 10th and 11th.
I am delighted to be representing Santa Rosa on the basis of benefiting among the first 27 villages. A few years ago when we submitted our CDP, we weren't quite sure whether we were going to have what our dreams were. And over time, you as villagers has asked what has happened to the CDP, what has happened to the project proposals. Well, really, time and time again we heard that it was going to come someday. Today has been a very remarkable day for us to be identified among the first 27 communities to benefit from the area. But I'm happy to say that. I firmly believe that through our dedicated efforts to get projects completed, we were able to fall among those 27 communities.
As I stand here with joy, I'm so thankful to express my feelings towards the government on behalf of my village, Manawan, for their massive support over the years. First of all, I would like to express a special thanks to our Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Colin Sukai, for her brave and beneficial representation in order to let our CDP become a reality, despite the challenges she faced. Secondly, the UNDP resident representative and resourceful personnel for overseeing the needs and input to support the development of Amerindian community in Guyana.
I'm truly delighted to be here and to be part of this historic moment. It has truly been a dream that has actually come to reality today. I'm very glad that we, White Corabi, had been selected as one, I believe, of the first community, I believe, on top list. I don't know for what reason, probably because we were already chosen by God for that to happen. But we were selected as one of the first, and I'm very grateful. And I must say thanks to our minister, of course, for working so tirelessly to ensure that White Corabi can be part of the first 27 communities.
7 communities received $5 million each. They will utilize the funds to invest in various socioeconomic projects as part of efforts to improve their livelihood and financial standing.
We are a people who, I would say, economically do not equal with the rest of Guyanese, especially those who live on the coastline. I would say they have a lot of financial resource more than us. However, we have dreams just like them. We have dreams that later in the future, our children would not live more of a primitive life that we are now trying to come out. But that with the help of the government and with the diligent work of the people,
the lessons and experiences learned from the pilot communities will be critical to the others who are set to benefit from similar disbursements.
I think it should be an historical event that will be happening in Barbino in minutes time or half an hour time of signing this agreement. And from my observation and some of the councillors, we are seeing this project as a force of the kind in the village, and we are trying our best to implement it, to see how it will benefit the members of the community.
For our CDP plan of 2011, we decided to farm Hassa. Now in 1997, we had a forest fire in Waini, between the beach and Waini River. Thousands of acres were burnt, was made useless for farming. Now, we decided to use back some of this land, and the only way we could use this land is by rearing hassa. Now, the hassa is there in the bush, right? In the swamp, in the barn bush. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That is why we decided to farm hassa.
On behalf of our community, Port Kaituma format, I'm so happy to part with my secretary and treasurer here today for the same agreement, signing of some agreement with the UNDP today. We are so proud to be here with our Minister, Pauline Sukai, and other representatives. I think that the project plan, the fund will be well spent, and I think it will be beneficial for the people in Port Kaituma 4 Mile community.
The 7 Region 1 communities were the first of 27 selected to pilot the ADF project. They all have a 9-month deadline to complete their project's implementation. Once this phase is successfully completed, funds will be okayed for the other approximately 180 communities to implement their proposed projects.
The road to obtaining the disbursement will continue to be tough if we do not perform well, because the government of Guyana agreement with the Kingdom of Norway is a performance-based agreement, and everything that is funded out of the ADF forms part of the funding that we receive from the Kingdom of Norway in achieving the targets set out in the low carbon development strategy. And for Guyana to get further disbursement or tranches that are due to us, we have to be successful at performing at the national level. And even though this is at the local level, it is measured. And our success here will depend on whether Guyana also receive additional tranches, because they will come down. Every year, they do twice a year, they do what is called an assessment. They come down and they look at all the components that were offered as our strategy in the LCDS and signed on to by the agreement that we have with them.
The members of the communities were urged to ensure that they closely monitor their projects and maintain accurate records for future references. They were also asked to put forward their ideas for sustaining their various projects.
The government has committed to improving the livelihood of especially our hinterland communities, Amerindian communities. And over the years, I'm sure we can say without any doubt that the government has been putting substantial resources into communities to ensure that our development continues, or we get what we deserve. And this has been happening for quite some time now. Sometimes it starts to go into communities though, to see projects that were implemented a few years ago is not there anymore, you know, and you're just left to wonder where millions of dollars went into some of these projects. I'm sure that we're not looking, we do not want to look back too much of what happened, but we have to look back at times so that our planning for the future could be, you know, guided by some of the faults that or the errors that were made in the past.
One of the things that we must always remember, and this is a speech I give to all the 180 villages, that our foreparents did not walk across mountains and across the ice and across oceans to come to Kamwata and Manawaran and Waikarevi because they wanted to have a good time. They came in search of a better life. They came in search of freedom. They came because they wanted their children and their grandchildren and their descendants to be better people. And I think with all of what is happening, the developments that are taking place in our villages, those development projects are to ensure that you get a better life, that the struggles that our foreparents went through, the freedom that we now have, that those things are not taken away from us. So that is why development come into your villages. And that is why the government partnered with the Kingdom of Norway under the Low Carbon Development Strategy to have the Amerindian Development Fund / CDPs in all of our villages.
The administration has been introducing initiatives for the improvement of Amerindians' living standards, and the CDP is the latest venture to benefit villagers. Other beneficiary programs include presidential grants, and for children, the Hinterland Scholarship Program and the school feeding and uniform programs.